Hi guys. So I'm just going to check that you're actually seeing me and I'm not like talking to completely thin air. So just give me a second, because that'd be kind of, you know, embarrassing and weird and not what everyone wants to see, really. Yep, there I am. I can see myself. Hi. So we're Monday and we are beginning of the week. For many of us, it's the first whole week, I think, of the children being off school as well. So are you already pulling your hair out? How's that going? The crazy thing about, and this is kind of what I'm going to talk about today, actually. Certainly say hi if you're here. Give me one of the thumbs up or the little hearts or the face or whatever it is. When I was running clinics, you know, offline, working offline, August for me was my slowest month. And although I did used to see lots and lots of mums, I used to see a lot of people that weren't parents as well. And what they used to find was, because all of the parents had booked the time off to be with their families, it meant that they couldn't get the time off that they needed. You know, not even just like the hour or two to nip off, see me, have their, like, you know, build it into a lunch break, that kind of thing. So it was quite, it was a pretty quiet time. August was always really slow. So I used to have to sort of think to myself, well, what can I do with my time? You know, there's no point in being in the clinic if, you know, if you weren't seeing anybody. And so what I used to do is, it would be the time for review and reflection, and I would go through maybe my case studies, see who I was seeing if there's anything that is repetitively coming up, you know, and think about ways that I can help people with that. So maybe, I don't know, you know, all my cranky busy mums are coming up time and time again with a similar supplement regime or a similar batch flow remedy that I would have to give to them. What I would do is I would create a nice little bundle for them, with a, you know, with a discount or two thrown in, and, you know, pop them over an email and say, you know, I know you're cranky, I know you're busy, but actually I know this is going to be helpful for you. And it kind of, it keeps you in their thoughts. It's you know, it's you being helpful towards them. So I would do things like that. I would look at, you know, the companies that I use. You know, are they still the best? Has anybody else popped up? Is there stuff that I should be looking at? Is there stuff that I should be trialing? Because for me, I would never, and I have never, recommended something to, hi Shelley, I've never recommended or sold anything to one of my clients that I haven't actually tried for myself. And I just, for me, that ethically, that's just not right. You know, even if the product is not very specific for me, I would try something from that product range for that company. So that was kind of, you know, August was my time to do that. You know, have a good look around, make sure I was still on top of my game, make sure that everything that I was working with was as best and as good as it could be. So it was kind of, yeah, time for review, reflection, make sure that everything's right. Maybe if there was, I know one of the things I used to do, because I always remember, and I always end up writing loads more than I should do, on my consult forms, I would always review those and maybe expand them a bit and give myself a bit more space. You know, just the things that you've been working with that you could streamline a bit better, you could make easier for yourself, you could make easier for your clients. And those would be the kind of things that I would do. Maybe I would learn something new. It would be the sort of time, if I was doing more study, maybe if you were trying to catch up with your CPD points, August would be the month that I would do that. You know, and it's kind of, you've got to sort of make most of your time, because I guarantee when, you know, when September used to come round and you know, the kids start to go back to school and your nervous breakdown mothers come back and they need you because they are literally pulling their hair out from looking after their children for the past 6 weeks. Your books go from being like, you know, nothing, you know, a western with the tumbleweed, you know, rolling through, to like absolute chaos in, you know, say Oxford Street on Christmas or something like that. You're not going to get time you know, you're not going to get time to do all these little bits and changes and, you know, bits and pieces that you think you need to be doing. So it's actually kind of useful. And yes, all right, your accounting books aren't going to look the best because obviously, you know, the parents are off doing things for their children. They don't have time to see you, they don't have the money to see you because they're off with their kids. And quite rightly so. But, you know, you certainly do make up for it in September. So, you know, what's going on? What's going on for you now? How does it roll for you at the moment? Maybe your clinic is not fully rolling yet. You know, maybe actually you're relatively new and you don't know where your ups and your downs are going to be. What do you do then? And like I say, I would continue to look at learning and training and things like that. And, you know, that's kind of why I've got the Basic Essentials program out now, because I know that a lot of you guys have probably if you're a new therapist, you've got your skills, you've just finished your training course, and you're like itching to get your hands on as many human beings as humanly possible. I was anyway. But you haven't got the faintest idea how to do it. So this month is actually a really good month for you, for those of you that aren't parents, to learn some new skills, learn how to get out there. It's a good time for testing things, you know, in your business as well. See kind of what, you know, when people are kind of hanging about, and it will change, so you need to bear that in mind. But yeah, so the Basic Essential course is going to be there to help you and teach you how to do all this online stuff that you think is all magic and happens, you know, with an awful lot of hard work behind it. And there is a bit of hard work, but actually, if you're a bit smart about it, it's not that hard at all. You've just got to learn how to do things in the right way, and so that you're not making like double work for yourself, because that's no fun. That's just no fun at all. The Basic Essentials we cover here, lovely Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn if you're more business minded, Instagram. So I've chose those four because that's pretty much where you're likely to hang out. There's a lot of other ones out there, but do you know what? You can, if you throw yourself into all of them, there's freaking loads, and you don't need to. You absolutely don't need to. There's no need. You'll overwhelm yourself, and you don't want to give yourself this massive long list of stuff to do, because it's just, you've got too much to do already. You don't need more. So we're going to be covering those, and it really is just that foundation building, learning how to do stuff. You know, the amount of times that people have asked me, I don't know what a tweet is. I know it sounds silly for some of us that use Twitter, but actually, it's a really relevant question. If you haven't got a clue what it is, you haven't got a clue what it is. You know, so I'm going to explain all those different things. I want to teach you just the real basics, get you onto that really solid foundation, so that you can make the steps necessary to sort of build that business and to expand your reach and to speak to people by the thousands eventually, which would be awesome. What else have we got in the course? We are going to be covering some of the techie stuff. So websites, I know they seem super scary, but honestly, if you use the right tech, and I'm going to talk you through the base of it, the absolute basics of it, and honestly, if I can do it, anyone can do it. When I first thought about doing my own website, I think I had a panic attack, because you're so overwhelmed every day by everything that you see online. These big fancy websites, you know, and they do all these wonderful things, and they, you know, they shrink and they expand depending on which device you are viewing them on. You know, there's things that pop up, and, you know, there's all kinds of weird and wonderful things going on there. But it's not that scary. Honestly, it's not. So we're going to cover websites and how to build them, where is the most simple way of building them. We're going to look at mailing systems, because that's going to be something you're going to need to get your head around. Being able to deliver mail to your potential clients. What else is there? Mailing systems, newsletters. We're going to talk about newsletters. We're going to talk about landing pages. Now, some people don't even know what that phrase means. And basically, a landing page is just a page where people visit, so you land, and sign up for your freebie. So whatever your freebie, your opt-in might be, that is what a landing page does, effectively. and it will be, you know, me talking you through the logistics of getting that working, and you know, how that needs to play quite a major role in your business. But yeah, so the early bird for that is finishing tonight, so you can get that. There's 35 videos. I might be sneaking in a couple of extras because I've thought of some extra things as I'm going along. But at the moment there's 35, and you'll get that for $99 tonight rather than $297. It's never going to go back to $99. This is the first launch price, first early bird. Honestly, if you're like wanting to be online and you really don't know where to start, and you're just feeling a bit overwhelmed and a bit daunted by the whole concept of, you know, doing stuff online, this really is kind of perfect for you. I'm going to take all the guesswork out, all the fear, all that icky stuff that you're thinking, I just really can't do it. You'll know exactly what you're doing, and you'll be confident and comfortable with what you're doing at the end of it. So this really is kind of for you. So if you're in this month of downtime, that's what I used to refer to as downtime, maybe, you know, you've got one or two of your straggler clients in that don't have children, but everybody else is kind of off doing their own thing, and you want to learn some skills, or maybe think about taking your business online, then the Basic Essential course is out. It's there for you. But yeah, you know, use this month when the kids are off wisely. You know, use it effectively. Don't just take a holiday yourself if you want to. If you're at that point where actually you can, and you know, finances will allow you to do that as a therapist, then yeah, go off and have a holiday. I would. But if you're one of these people that needs to continue working to fill in the few gaps that you've got, and you know, use the time wisely, because as I say, for me in September, when everybody used to go back to school, my books would just be like overflow, and I used to have to actually throw in an extra day, which was killer. I mean, it was great for seeing clients and fitting them all in, but you know, as a kinesiologist, which is what I was doing, it's really hard. You know, it's really quite hard on you. It's a lot of extra work, and you just won't have time. You won't have time to review anything. You won't have time to, you know, make changes to anything that you might need. You won't have time to learn some new skills if that's what you want to do. So definitely use the month really super wisely. So I shall leave you be. So the Lunchtime Live Lounge is going to be here every Monday at 12. I will be here chatting through a subject, what I sort of stumble across, you know, as the weeks roll by. I'll be here to answer any questions that you may have. You know, come and join me. If anything, you know, I've called it the Lunchtime Live Lounge because I know what you guys are like. You're going to be working constantly, and the idea is so that you can just sit here, look, you know, watch me on your phone, have a cup of tea, have your sandwich or your salad or your pasta or whatever it is that you have for lunch, and take a little bit of time out. You know, because we don't take enough time out. I know these things. So I will see you next week, next Monday. Until then, bye.